Seattle's solution to open-air drug market, buying and selling of stolen goods, human trafficking, sex trafficking, you name it. Whatever goes on Seattle streets, particularly Seattle's The Blade, which is Bike and Pine on 3rd Avenue. What are they doing there? Seattle Mayor's office backs sidewalk murals. Sidewalk murals. So when the addicts absolutely pass out or do their hunch over fentanyl nod, they can have a nice mural to look down at. Or if you're a tourist, say coming from Pike Place Market, a couple of blocks away, you can go down and look at the human excrement on the sidewalk and then notice that it's on top of a really nice sidewalk mural, all painted out. What's that pile of brown? And oh, that's not part of the mural. Let's get into it. Here we go. So you got murals. They're trying to do a beautification of downtown Seattle. I get it. And does it look a little bit better? Yeah, it does. If you look up, you're not looking down at the craziness going on the sidewalk. So it's like, look up, look at the beautiful twinkling lights. Got these lights going on during the daytime. Yeah, and then at night, they provide this nice backdrop for one of Seattle's worst streets that is just loaded with miscreants, with drug addicts, with drug dealers, with people buying and selling stolen goods. I mean, it's... Let's go ahead and paint a mural on the sidewalk and we'll make it better. Jason Rantz had a great article. So this is what he refers to as McStabbies. McStabbies, because so many stabbings happened right here. I mean, just boom, right there. And just a little ways down over here is the Pike Place Market. And also you've got the Four Seasons nearby, and that had, a shooting. And you've had multiple shootings and stabbings right here over the years. That's why they call it McStabbies, because this is McDonald's, and it has been closed. I'm not sure if it is now, if you can go inside, but for so long, it was just a to-go window during COVID. And I mean, people line the street with they're doing drugs. And I walked this street here and I got yelled at by, a dude for recording what was going on, just like Andrew was here. But it was one of those time periods. It was later in the day and there was a ton of addicts out. They were all doing their thing. I think it was like a Friday. So it was, it was game on. They were going to party like it's 1999. And drug dealer, somebody affiliated, got really upset with me and said he was going to beat my ass. Uh-oh. Right? Let's hear what Jason has to say. He's always got a pretty pointed opinion on this stuff. I usually agree with him. As fentanyl addicts and the mentally ill continue to languish or die in our streets, Mayor Bruce Harrell's administration has decided that what downtown Seattle really needs are sidewalk murals. Okay. Didn't know that we needed that. Didn't know that that's part of, harm reduction. Didn't know that that's part of the 12-step program. Didn't know that that's part of the 30-day wonder. Put you in treatment for 30 days and then wonder what happened. Oh, why didn't I get sober? Because nothing says we're tackling the root causes of homelessness quite like ensuring that when a drug addict passes out, they do so on a vibrant, city-supported work of art. The work of art, let's go back to this for a second. It didn't really look all that impressive, did it? I mean, it's like, what do we, it looks like a surfboard. It looks like a big green surfboard painted. All right. We got some other kind of wheel thing. I'm not trying to be mean. Okay. Now we've got like, is that like peace? Is that the symbol for peace? You got a bird there I don't even know. What are we doing here? Going back. Okay, there's more surfboards. Okay, more surfboards there and a green thing, a green symbol, a green plant. It's a green plant. And what else do we got going on here? And there's a light. There's the lights that are hung up. I mean, this is what we're working on. We're spending taxpayers' money on painting the streets because the streets look so shitty with the people that are passed out on them, that are nodding off. I mean, I was there 3 weeks ago and got yelled at? I mean, it was the night before the imaginary No Kings protest, where we're protesting imaginary kings and protesting imaginary secret police and protesting just a bunch of imaginary things. I mean, that's what Democrats do in Seattle, is they protest things that aren't there, like imaginary kings. So, quite like ensuring that when a drug addict passes out, they do so on a vibrant, city-supported work of art. Vibrant, okay. Sidewalks murals align with Harrell's uninspired downtown activation plan. Trying to get downtown going again. Let's get that going. Well, how about you clean up the streets first? How about you actually do an emphasis patrol and you scoop all those criminals out of there? Because it's literally one of the most central areas in downtown Seattle, and it's only a couple of blocks away from our tourism district. One of the action steps, create more murals and other installations throughout downtown and activate street corners, parks, and transit stations with buskers and other forms of entertainment to create a more beautiful and welcoming environment, mitigating the impact of graffiti and street disorder. Look how much these vibrant pieces of work cost the city of Seattle. You know what I mean? Do you kind of wonder, is that like thousands of dollars worth? I mean, I hope not, but, artist time. Harrell, via spokesperson, said that this particular project was sponsored by the Downtown Seattle Association, whom I typically agree with. That's a coalition of business owners. They're trying to get downtown Seattle going, but they need this, and they need a bunch of staunch police support, which you're not going to get because you don't have enough cops, because you defunded the police. You're in a city that doesn't really believe in public safety. Yeah, let that guy run around with the sword. Yeah, let people pass out on the sidewalk. What could go wrong? Let them pass out on the sidewalk. Let them just do their drugs. And now they'll have a nice piece of art installation. And when the street cleaners go by, hey, maybe don't use that concrete setting on the concrete with the art installation, because you're going to take off that pretty mural. Don't do that. I mean, but then again, how are you going to clean the human excrement and human urine and vomit and whatnot off the sidewalk? How are you going to do that? Are you going to do a light solution of simple green? Is that what you're going to do? An environmentally sensitive simple green solution? No. The logic, if you can call it that, seems to be that if we make the scenery prettier, the human suffering playing out against it will somehow be less tragic. People dying on the street, it'll be less tragic because they died on a nice piece of art. Art is in the eye of the beholder, isn't it? It's a continuation of the same tired, ineffective, and lazy approach we've seen countless times from our city's leadership. Harrell is a master of performative gesture, symbiotic act that accomplishes nothing but allows the mayor to pat himself on the back for a job well done. Now, I want to see the streets look better too, but this ain't going to do it. This isn't going to do it. You walk those streets, you walk literally where Andrew is filming at the wrong time of day, you might get a McStabby in the back. Literally. This is not a parody. This is the actual strategy of a city in the throes of a humanitarian crisis. And because they won't arrest their way out of it, I mean, look at how we've handled the ICE crisis. Well, you've got ICE deporting criminal illegals from our community, and you're really worked up about it, and you're Antifa, and you just go after the ICE buildings. What's Seattle police do about it? Absolutely nothing, because city leadership states, we don't want you involved with that. Federal buildings are the federal buildings. The federal buildings are the federal buildings that deport people that shouldn't be here. Illegals. But let's go ahead and paint the sidewalks, and let's put up some lights, some twinkling lights, so that we can look around and go, wow, isn't that pretty? Isn't that nice? Meanwhile, what's that guy doing literally on the sidewalk, just all crashed out, you know? You see all those videos, you see tons of videos from Jonathan Cho, and you see videos from Andrea Suarez, and you're just kind of left with, what are we even doing here? Does this make any sense whatsoever? How does this work? How does this make any sense? And it's because you don't have the political will to really drop the hammer on all the criminals that the city knows are needed to basically keep all the fentanyl addicts in line. Because if you get rid of those supply lines for those fentanyl addicts, where are you going to put all those people? Because they're going to go berserk. They're going to go batshit crazy berserk. They don't have their fentanyl. They don't have their cheap fetty. What's the city going to do with them? They're going to put them in a mental institution en masse? No, hell no. They're going to put them in jail? No. Are they going to put them in treatment? Not involuntarily. So what do we got left? Well, let's make the environment more pretty and we'll put up some lights over the top and we'll paint some of the sidewalk with some pretty colors. Remember when all the sidewalks and whatnot got painted with the whole Black Lives Matter? And then city officials realized that Black Lives Matter was pretty much nothing more than a domestic terror organization, hence the $2 billion in insured damage across the United States and $5 billion of damage insured and uninsured property across the United States. Domestic terrorism. Yeah, you got that. But after the whole fentanyl Floyd thing, we painted a bunch of sidewalks, did the whole pride thing. Now they've kind of painted over a lot of that. Yeah, that just didn't last. It wasn't a thing for all that long. Kind of like what is happening with these murals here. It's going to be a thing for a split second. Criminal activity is still going to go on. We're not going to really do anything about it. And what's the end result going to be? Much ado about nothing. Until you drop the hammer on the criminals, until you make Seattle a no-drug zone, until you literally have the political will to clean this up long-term, get these people into treatment, get the criminals off the streets, meaning arrest them and convict them and put them away for a while. Until you start doing that, all this other stuff, it's just window dressing, and it's marginal window dressing at that. It's like, look up here, look down there, look up here, look down there. Don't look right there. Don't look at the problem right in front of you. Because those are people losing their lives. That's what you've got going on. Portland's same exact way. I don't know if Portland is painting its sidewalks, though. I mean, this is a Seattle thing, isn't it? Put up pretty lights. It's literally, you walk down that street and you're like, hey, those are nice. And then you see the rest of what's going on the sidewalk, and you're like, oh, do we need to cross over? And this is a street that is basically a massive transit center where all this crap is located. It's a massive thousands of people hop on and off buses, hoping not to get, accosted at their bus stop that they need to get to go to their job. Meanwhile, their taxpayers' dollars are being spent on artwork on the sidewalk that's going to get crapped on, that's going to get urinated on, that people are going to barf on. It's going to have garbage thrown on it because that's what the criminal drug addicts do. And that's who lines this area. And then when somebody comes by documenting, they scream at that guy and call him the N-word because, but I don't know if you know this. I'm white. So that guy was just colorblind. I'm not sure. He's just upset in general. The whole open air sidewalk drug debauchery thing has become so accepted that we can just pretty it up with a little bit of sidewalk painting and it'll all be better. It'll all be good. Hey, we're on the up and up. We're on the upswing here. We've got pretty sidewalks for our fentanyl addicts to pass out on. And then eventually die. Because that's what they do. They die on the streets. When I was there, my son and I were there. This is whenever that was. The night before the imaginary No Kings protest. We saw 2 sets of ambulances pull up. And there are people crashed out. Literally, as we're looking at this picture right here, off to the left, about half a block. Ambulance pulled up, and another one that was just leaving when we got there. 2 sets of ambulances because you got people literally passed out. But hey, let's not put money into treatment centers for them to go to. Let's go ahead and paint the sidewalk. Look at that pretty color down there. Oh, that's the nicest off green, almost a lime green color. I mean, that is some prettiness for this guy right here to be either shooting himself in the shin or he's doing the fentanyl fold over, right? Take your pick. Either one, not great. All right. Yeah, and this is right about where I got yelled at. But I beat your ass. Okay. All right. Whatever. That's it for me on this one. Thanks so much for being here. I'll catch up with you on the next one. Bye for now.